Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh to some of you, and peace out to the rest of you. Hit the share button because the message is more important than the messenger. This one is dedicated to S Jacques, who came through on the CashApp and who also sent me a link to this. I did not know the name of this lady at the time that this happened, but Crystal Mangum accused those Duke lacrosse players of the struggle snuggle. And apparently this happened at a time when I was very, very, very busy with the job, and I struggling to survive and take care of the family, take care of my son and daughter and my wife. And so I don't really remember this situation very well. But she accused them in '06. And apparently this became a very divisive thing in North Carolina, especially Durham. And she, a sister, accused three Wyatt dudes. So I don't have any sympathy that matters. I'll put it like that. I do have a sympathy, but I don't have one that actually matters and makes a difference to anybody, as far as they are concerned. I mean, she accuses three from the demographic that would have lynched us if one of their own women had accused us. I want to have more compassion for them. But then if I did, I wouldn't admit it. If I had more, I would not admit it. And I think it's wrong that I have the amount of compassion for them that I do have. By the same token, I'd have felt like it's wrong if I didn't. Nonetheless, that is the psychological struggle of being a black male in a society that is unjust to us. And it's not lost on me that while I have stated that sisters are at war with us, that also Brad is. Everybody knows that. It's been known for a while. That's nothing new. Brad's been at war with us for a long time. Brad will fight us about anything. It's also not lost on me that, well, you know what? The point is that Crystal Mangum finally confessed recently in North Carolina's women's prison that she lied, made the whole thing up. And she says that she wanted validation from men and not from God, and that's why she did it. And I'm here to tell you, I don't fib a guck about her reasons. It don't make a furthermucking bit of difference to me why she did that, what validation she wanted, whatever psychobabble reason she gives. She didn't involve us in this, but I do want to state something, though, that's more alarming. Crystal Mangum is in prison now for a particular crime. Let me ask you guys this. Why does she have a boyfriend? After being who she is, how the hell did she have a boyfriend in the first mother cuss word place? She lies on these guys. It turns out that she lied. She says it, but I'm trying to understand. She's now doing time for murder. She's doing time for murder. That's the charge she's in on. I know YouTube wants to flag me, but look, the name of the charge is that. She's in for that. What I'm trying to understand is why the hell she had one. See, we don't vet enough, and we've been taught not to vet enough, and that's the problem. The investigation showed that she was outright lying when she said what she said. In 1996, she filed a police report and said that in 1993, three guys kidnapped her and drove her to North Carolina and then violated her with the struggle snuggle. She accused a guy that was 21 at that time, which would constitute the statutory variety of the struggle snuggle. Her relatives later said that she backed away from those charges because of fear for her life. But her own father said he did not believe that she was struggle snuggled or injured. And he said that her mother actually believed it, but not in 1993. But see, Mangum has an ex-husband. And he said he believes her story lock, stock, and barrel. She said that her husband tried to kill her during the divorce proceedings, but she was charging him with that, actually, or pressing charges, but then she didn't appear in court. And she went ahead back to home and became a scripper. Got in trouble, all kinds of trouble. She damn near ran over a cop, but she hit the patrol vehicle instead. She was driving drunk, leading them on a high-speed chase in the middle of all this stuff. She pled guilty. And she got 3 weekends in jail and probation and had to pay for the damages that she had caused. Or at least she had to pay $4,200 for that. And she was actually a student when she accused these guys on the lacrosse team of the struggle snuggle. This is, she was about to be involuntarily committed, actually, because of a fight at that party that she went to when she decided to make the allegation that she'd been struggle snuggled. And the prosecutor was like, we're going to get these dudes. And apparently he did something wrong. He was going to withhold the evidence that they didn't do anything. But the state's attorney general took the case over. And what he found was that he should dismiss the charges. And he declared that not only were they not guilty, but that they were innocent, which is something prosecutors rarely do. There's no part of the system that usually uses the word innocent. They'll say not guilty. But he was like, no, I declare that they are innocent. But this is the kicker. She was arrested for first-degree murder, some other violent charges, and starting a fight, starting a fire, and even some child abuse. And she had to wear an ankle bracelet. She was on house arrest. Then she was required to move in with her mom. She was only allowed supervised visits for her kids. And then she was convicted of contributing to the delinquency of a juvenile. So she was not retried on some arson charges. I think she could have been retried, but they decided not to do that. And then to make matters worse, not even late into 2011, but after all this happened in 2010, late in 2011, she was charged with assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill her boyfriend, and then he wound up dying. So she got the body charge. And she was actually released until the trial. And she said that she of course, she started talking about this self-defense. So it seems like dudes are just she always has some sort of charge that dudes are violent with her. But the prosecution said that Day said he was trying to get away from her when he was stabbed, and that they had forensic evidence that was saying the same thing. So fact remains that it appeared that she just stabbed him while he was trying to leave. He was trying to get away. And she got convicted in 2013. She got a minimum of 14 years and a maximum of 17 years. She stabbed that man to death while he was trying to leave. She's not supposed to be getting out, but instead she has an expected release day. Less than 2 years from now. I don't even get it. A woman like this who just believes in throwing charges at men and making men look as bad as she possibly can, manages to find another boyfriend. She's always got some charge that some dudes are violent, and then she finds a boyfriend again and again and again when she gets out. As men are becoming more and more red pill aware, the problem is that when she gets out, there won't be enough of us that are red pill aware for her to have to go through a dry spell outside like she should be going through inside. And that's if she's really going through one on the inside. There aren't enough of us that are awakened yet. There's still too many of us that are in blue pill simp mode. And that's why I say we need to reach these young brothers. I want this red pill awareness to become just as widespread amongst young men as cheating on tests are in some parts of the world. I want this to become viral. Not because of what Andrew Tate says. It was a fake if I saw one. No, not because of him, but because of what it is that these women are doing and what they get away with. She talking about they gave a second-degree murder. She stabbed that dude while he was trying to get away. And she gonna get out. But why is it that she had a boyfriend in the first place? I'm not going to sit up and say, well, dudes got to stop being thirsty, because men and women are sexually interested in each other. But what I am going to say is that men have to prioritize self-defense and self-preservation over getting some box. Because if you don't, these women will make it as dangerous as it is. They want to offer as much danger surrounding the box as they can put around it and still have men trying to get at them. This is so that they can always use the box to do things like set you up for robbery or anything else. The whole point is to make it as expensive as possible. And look, I'm a dad of 2 daughters and I love them, but I don't want them to have the option of being able to use what God gave them to set men up. My son can't sit up and offer women ding-a-ling and use that to set them up or lure them into traps. It's not his fault. But we as men can easily sit up and say, you know what? We are not going to let this be used to lure us into traps. The danger must be removed. Okay, box is all fine and nice under the right context, but let's do this in the context of a family and without surrounding it with danger. It can no longer be bait for a trap. We have not come to this collectively yet enough. There are more of us that are doing it, but we need to speed this thing the up because chicks like her are a creation of this. There's always someone that's not going to penalize them, won't even have the decency to penalize them with loneliness, solitude, all these things they deserve. They deserve to be by themselves just for acting like this. This chick catches bodies. How is it that she's able to find boyfriends? What is wrong with dudes? Granted, a lot of this happened before the information was as widespread as it is, but I'm going to look at us and say, why the hell was it not widespread even back then? At what point were guys going to look at in a part of life that is so important and realize that all of the things surrounding it were artificial? All of the difficulties surrounding it were artificial. At what point were men going to realize that the information surrounding this part of life was just simply not enough? How is it that there's so little information about this particular part of life, what it is that women want, why they're difficult? What's wrong with us? We don't ask enough questions. We don't think analytically enough once it comes to women, and when it comes to women in general, including dim drawers, we don't think analytically enough. That's not the time to shut your brain off. That's the time to overthink. That's why I have a recording called Overthink This Game. Always overthink this game. They are. And what's the reason they're doing it? It's not because they don't like the ding-a-ling. It's because they want to extract resources along with the ding-a-ling. They're trying to figure out how to get a 2-for-1. Really a 2-for-none. No effort, get the ding-a-ling they want and the resources they want to go with it instead of working. That's what they're trying to figure out. How to have access to jobs in the job market and steal your resources as a retirement plan. Not steal them, but still have your resources as a retirement plan. In case I mispronounced it earlier. This is what they're looking for. And we've fallen for that. Because as far as we're concerned, ain't no way to get the box without it. Okay, what happens when you realize that you probably could? What happens when you realize that, no, there is a way to get the box without it? They're not going to work anyway in a job market as hard as you. Block them out. Lock them out. Lock them out of your resources if they don't want to be worth it. And then lock them out the job market if you got jobs for which you need to hire somebody. Might not be able to prove. Granted, they may sit up and say, well, you never hire women. But you know what? Let them prove it. At the end of the day, one of the reasons to abandon the West is because they want you to put them in job positions that pay a lot of money. And then they still don't want to do the work. Well, we all would like to have a deal like that, but they demand a deal like that and will even try to pressure governments to enforce that. If you're going to start a business, why would you start it in the West? For what? I hope that what I've said is a benefit. I hope that this helps you out a lot. But more importantly, I hope that this motivates you to do what I said in the last upload, which is to try to reach more of these young brothers with this message so that in the future, there won't be more Crystal Mangums because we created her. And I give a shout out to S Jacques for sending me that link to that story. She finally confessed. Well, look what the hell it took for her to confess. She's already lost a big chunk of her life. Not enough, but she's lost enough of it. She's already in on the murder charge. She don't feel a guck. And the funny thing is, no matter what she's done with these other bras and what she said, she only admits that she made it up when it came to these Wyatts. When's she going to admit that she made it up in high school? And if she didn't make it up, we have a reason to still believe that she did because she's been making up other stuff. She said it herself. But understand this, we, by not being red pill aware enough, have created a bunch of Crystal Mangums. Hers is just the case that has the high profile at a national level. We know women like her in life. Ditzy, silly, goofy. And if they think they're smart enough, hell-bent on lying to get what they want out of life without working for it. We got our work cut out for us. That's why I say reach these young brothers. Put these Mangums out of business. Equal rights means equal lefts. Thank you for listening. As always, black heart, black mind, black out. Assalamu alaikum, and black heterosexual non-select male power because they don't like it, and black patriarchy until extinction of Judgment Day. Thank you for flying with us again here on Jet Black Airways, where the phrase Jet Black is also a verb. And give thanks to S Jacques for sending me this link. Keep flying with us until the wings and the wheels fall off. Gender justice forever.